Hello, everybody, and welcome to another perspective. I am your host, Tyrese Biv, and tonight we're going to be discussing the good old NFL and just going to give you my perspective on what's going on, in particular, what happened over the weekend. On Friday night, President Trump said some things that at this point only President Trump can say, and the NFL responded, well, in only a way that the NFL can respond. First things first, I would like to know, if someone has heard anything from any of the players that onto why they did what they did. But I would like to know why, and why now? Why protest now? And when did they decide that they were going to do it? And because it was under wraps, nobody knew. It didn't seem like anyone knew, or there wasn't any preconceived notion that this was going to happen. So, did they get together and discuss it? The guy, hey, text you, hey, we're gonna do this on Sunday. I think you guys should too. Was it a chain letter that they sent throughout the NFL, or was it memos from one owner to another, and the owner said, hey guys, this is what we're going to do on Sunday? I would like to know who sparked that movement on Sunday, because if it was from the owners, if they took that leap to say, we're going to do this as a team, does that now change their perspective and the way they view Colin Kaepernick? Is this the week to where he gets signed? Or is it now we're willing to negotiate with him and talk with him seriously to sign him? Because now those same people that were upset, as far as fans of whatever franchise it may be, they were upset that Colin Kaepernick was taking the knee, and they supported their team not signing him for that reason. Now that they're owners of these teams, players on these teams, coaches on these teams have taken that same protest. Some of them say, they didn't kneel, they just stood and they locked arms. It was still a unified protest, whether they kneeled or whether they stood. It was still a unified protest, in some cases during the national anthem, in other cases before the national anthem. That's neither here nor there. They did something to show unity. So will they have that same feeling now? Because I've been all over social media, and it's, well, I'm definitely no longer a Cowboy fan and per se, and I'm not watching the NFL no more. I hate the Steelers, whatever it may be. Are they still feeling that way? Now, I'm talking about the owners, are they still feeling that way about Colin Kaepernick? Because their fan base now is probably taking a complete 180 and gone the other way, considering that the owner of the team and the coaches and several players on what it seemed like every team did some sort of protesting during the national anthem. So, with that being said, are the fan bases now walking away from these owners? Truly, are they? And at the same time, are these owners now going to say, we've taken a stand that our fan base didn't like? So what does it matter with what Colin Kaepernick does? Because now the circus is in town for all the teams. The rest of the year, the rest of the season, you will hear this, especially if it continues. So now it's almost as if there's no reason to not sign Colin Kaepernick, because you took a stand, and several players on several teams took a stand in doing this. So now, does Colin Kaepernick get serious consideration for a job? Because at this point, he has not gotten serious consideration. Some teams have talked to him just for the sake of saying, hey, we gave him a chance, but things just didn't work out. But you knew, for the most part, that you weren't going to sign him going in. But I have another question. Why now for the players? You know, and in particular, the black players. Now, if you have been doing it since Colin Kaepernick, you know, there's certain guys, you know, Michael Bennett, Martellus Bennett, Torrey Smith, Malcolm Jenkins, you know, those guys, they've been pretty consistent, but there's been a lot of players who have not taken a stand, despite the reasoning behind Colin Kaepernick's protests. What they were willing to take a stand for what President Trump said. So it's kind of conflicting. You know, I don't care if you're a Johnny come lately or a Johnny come lately in this case. But if you're now going to take that stand, are you going to be consistent with it? But at the same time, was your stand just to throw the finger up at President Trump? Or were you saying, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity for me to start and support the protest that Colin Kaepernick started against police brutality, against racial injustice? So now this box has been opened. The box has been opened. Now you can, as an NFL player, you can openly protest. The owner themselves have done it. So is it now, do players feel more comfortable? Because some of them may have been reluctant because they didn't want to be in the position that Colin Kaepernick is in currently, which is watching football on Sundays, if he is watching it, versus playing football on Sundays. So now that the owners have taken a stand themselves, do players now feel more comfortable in taking a stand? I think that's a question that needs to be asked. So we'll find out. Week 3 was a big week in the NFL, you know, and not for anything that actually happened from kickoff to the last quarter, but everything that happened pre-game. It was a big week. Now the question becomes, what's going to happen next in week 4? Week 4 going in, there's some just questions that's going to be answered. And players, this is their time. They had the perfect opportunity now, because now you can't say, I didn't want to do it. I was afraid that Colin Kaepernick was going to be me, or I was going to be Colin Kaepernick. You know, I didn't want to lose my job. I have a family to take care of. Your owner just protested the President of the United States. I think you'll be okay if you protest the police. But that's just my opinion. But week 4, we'll see exactly what happens and how it happens. It should be something to watch. I won't be watching, of course. Again, I'm boycotting the NFL until Kaepernick is signed to a team. Once he is signed, probably start tuning in after Thanksgiving like I normally do every year. But anyway, is Kaepernick going to be signed now? There's no excuse now not to sign him after you yourself have protested. And again, there's teams out there whose quarterback situation he could help. Just judging by the box scores that I read on Sunday nights and Monday mornings. So let's see exactly what happens and how it happens. But again, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But I just want to know what is going to happen from here on. And that will tell me exactly why they did what they did. So, week 4 starts Thursday night. Let's see. I think it's the Packers and the Bears play on Thursday night. Let's see if there's any type of demonstrations pre-game, during, or before the national anthem. And we'll see where the players stand. Hopefully, a couple of players will at least protest one more week. I think they can give President Trump one more week of solidarity and unity amongst each other. And it should be fun. But for now, I'm signing off. It's your boy, Tyrese Bibb. Another perspective. Peace.